Have you had any luck on these?
No.
No. How many?
No,
it's so
well, that's actually what the videos like kind of started off as. So like for me, I immediately after the update, like I have had my account in game, God, since the update ended. So it's been 2 days, 3 days at this point. Yeah, 3 days. It's just in game without it getting shut down at all. Yeah, so it's been 3 days, just constant grinding. I've maxed out pretty much everything
already.
Yeah, I'm about. Let's see. I've got to do the last speed surge. It's 500, and then the last egg look go up, which is 370. But everything else is maxed.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same as you. I only need to do the final 3 for better loot.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, these ribbons are a lot harder to get.
They are, yeah. And I thought maybe that might be why it's, I don't know, man. The fact that only 650 Titanics have been hatched and 300 of those happened like the first hour.
Yep.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like that's what I'm like talking about.
Yeah, in the first hour of the update, I put in about 300 huges. I got barely any clan points. I feel like they didn't even count towards the clan points. And
okay.
I got no Titanics. I'm 500 huges in, 0 Titanics. But I did hatch the very first Rainbow Agony, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're a big Agony guy, I've seen.
Yeah. Oh, I love my Agonies. And hatching that, I think I would have been happier hatching that than hatching the Titanic, honestly.
That's funny. All right. My stuff is set up. I'm ready to go when you are.
I'm all set. I've actually been recording this whole time.
Oh, okay.
So where are you at? You're at the area 1, okay.
Yeah. I just came back to area 1. We have to stay in this area now. That's the only kind of bad thing. So if you were like wanting to go see, you know, I don't know, like the cloud world over in area 90, we're kind of stuck here.
Yeah, we're here for good. All right, so do you want to just start here? You want to just leave everything out?
I mean, it's up to you. This is your deal. If you want to start wherever, it doesn't really matter to me. I hadn't planned on everything already to be going, but
all right,
I feel like I could have had better responses for stuff if this was all going to be put in. But yeah, it's fine. We can start wherever you want to start. It's not a big deal.
All right,
this is you. Like, this is your thing, and I'm just along for the ride.
All right, awesome. I like to hear that. All right, so first thing that I did want to talk about, my wife, Mrs. Brummel, she was on me. She was like, listen, you have to tell him this. I'm like, what? Tell him I absolutely love his game room.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll start off with that. That's good. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So I'd like to know more about the game room, like all the planning. Did you have a designer come in? Did you design it yourself?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. So a little bit of like backstory with me. I was in IT before I did YouTube. Yeah, the struggles of IT makes you want to pull your hair out, and I wanted to do more in life than just, fix other people's problems. So, but I've always really liked computers and gaming and all that kind of stuff. Like I've always grew up on it. I remember being like in high school and I was a big as soon as new technology came out, even though I couldn't afford it, I would always learn all about it. People would have me go over to their parents' house and be like, hey, my mom just got this new entertainment center thing. She doesn't know how to hook it up. Can you come do it? And I would do it, without even having one or having any really crazy hands-on experience. I don't know. I've got this weird affinity for wires and how things work. So that exponentially grew as I got older, and yeah, I love creating spaces. My mom was really big into interior design, and so I picked up how to design things from her. And then just watching YouTube videos, there's a whole culture of office setups out there. That's a good way. If you're designing your own office, watching those type of videos or like gaming setups or whatever, they will give you a lot of ideas that you can then turn around and use for inspiration in your own thing. So I'm actually working on a video. I don't know when it's going to go out. It's been kind of like a 2-month process at this point, but I actually redid my entire daughter's setup. Mm-hmm. And I recorded like the step by step on everything of how I went through like planning and buying and coming up with like the theming and putting it all together and showing like the before and after. So like I've already recorded that. It's just like 15-20 hours of footage that I got to cut down for a non-gaming video. Like I know it's not going to do well. It's going to be very niche. And so like I haven't really like worried about putting it out. Definitely waiting till after the holidays to do it because January, the ad rates are going to be a lot less, so I won't be worried about missing out on that. But yeah, going back to the original question, I like tech things, and it's just been kind of a cultivating of all the knowledge I've gathered over the years, and couple that with just like I spend probably around like 75% of my day in my office. Mm-hmm. And like you have to like the space you work in. If you don't like the space you work in, it messes with your creativity, your productivity. I like having things ready to go just no matter what like I'm doing. If I'm doing like a solo video, or if I have like my kids with me, or if I have face cam or not face cam, like I just want it to all be there available for me. So yeah, when we bought our new house, I worked on making the plans to have like all these different like setups for different situations. It's a long process, and honestly, it's still, I think I'm pretty much done at this point. I'm working on an office setup to our video as well. I just haven't really got around to that one yet.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of planning and a lot of creativity went into that game room. It's really nice.
Oh yeah. Everything in my room tells a story. Of some sort, which is cool.
Yeah, and every time you post those pictures with plushies everywhere, I'm like,
I actually today it is like right before last night and early this morning, I was finishing up the last plushie orders. So all of my plushies as of this afternoon have been sold and gone out to the families for many kids to have for Christmas. So I'm really excited to have my room back, have my storage back, have my wife be happy with me again.
Yeah, my wife, she purchased one of those for the kids, and we're waiting for that to come in. That's awesome. She was very excited that you put more up.
Yeah, and there's gonna be like I think that's my plan going forward as well. Like I'm not gonna stop doing plushies. It's kind of, I didn't mean for it to become a weird staple on my channel, but like that's kind of how it happened. And now I'm working with like Spiffy and stuff. We're working on like affiliate links for, like partners and stuff to like use for like discount codes and stuff when they buy for, like their own plushies. And so you can like, hey, use promo code NightFoxx whenever you go and buy plushies, and you get like 10% off. So like I've been working with him because I wanted to benefit both us and the viewer, obviously. So like just the fact that they were able to work with us and stuff, it definitely means that there's going to be more plushies and stuff in the future, but I'm not going to keep them anymore. So like as I buy a whole bunch, I'll probably buy like 2 or 3 orders over like a month or 2 span, and then I'm going to get rid of them. Like I've got this whole system set up now. It's been a nightmare, but I got it all set up, and I'm ready to, like offer it for those. So if you miss it like the first round or the second round, you'll be able to get it into the next round that'll come up. So
yeah, that's awesome. The partner thing, the promo code NightFoxx. When you said that, I thought you were joking at first.
No, that's what. So like when Spiffy came to me with it at first, he mentioned that, and I was like, well, this is great for me, but like, what's their incentive? Like, what is the point? Like, why? Like, it's fun to like support your favorite creator, but at the end of the day, like, people want deals themselves. And I was like, look, if we're gonna do this, it would be really beneficial if like they could also get something as well. He's like, all right, I'll go talk to Preston about it. And I was like, okay, well, that's going to go nowhere. But then it did, and it came back. And then I found out that the affiliate link was actually Preston's idea to begin with. So, I don't know, man. Maybe he's entered out of his villain era and has decided to help out the little guy again.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like that. It's a very cool idea, and it'll definitely bring much more. I think it'll bring more. What's the word I'm looking for? More customers to their website, because when you could help your favorite creator and also get a discount at the same time, I feel like people will buy more.
Yeah, that coupled with like the merch rewards. I mean, I kind of mentioned it in I guess the video that I was talking about getting the merch rewards. Like, just think, you know, back like, God, probably like not even a year ago. I don't know when they discounted the Titanics from 250 to 150, but just think back when they were 250. You would spend 250 for a single plush.
Yep.
You would get a single Titanic, and that was it. Now you spend like $200, you get the Titanic, you get like all these eggs, you get like the codes, you get multiple plushies, and those plushies have codes. Like, I think I did $200 and I had one Titanic and about 30 huges on top of like gems, which, you know, was smaller, but yeah, like that's insane. For $200, you get that versus just like 6 months ago, 250 would get you one pet.
Yeah, a new player could start playing the game right now, get a bunch of plushies, and get almost a full team.
Oh yeah,
Game
yeah.
team.
No, I mean, I tested it whenever I did it. Like it took $500. I got a full team of huges and 3 Titanics.
That's awesome.
It was insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing it, and then I put in the 4 plushies, and it got up to $199.96, and I needed to spend that extra 4 cents so I could get the final reward. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I ran across that too. I think I didn't actually spend I spent like 220 or something like that. I had to like mess around with like the pillows and stuff because I know what you mean on that. Yeah, 100%.
So I ended up not doing it. I was like, I'll wait until they put something in the store for 4 cents. But yeah, I wonder if they're just going to continue this with like their store indefinitely.
I heard that. I gotta figure out what I can say and what I can't say.
Uh-oh.
I know that the reward system, I think that's a promo for right now. They're actually working on revamping it and introducing new stuff, but I can't talk about that yet. What new stuff they are going to do. The rewards are going to change, obviously. Like you can't like have it be a year down the road or in the summer, it's still offering the gingerbread dragon as the Titanic rewards. Like, it's going to have to change. The promos are going to end. And I think there's going to be new ones. I don't know if it's going to be as good or if it's going to be better or worse. I can't answer that one yet. I know they're using this first like reward system as like their test to see how well it works.
Yeah, and it seems like it's way better than just buying the Titanic plush, like you stated. It's way better.
Yes, yeah. It definitely takes that pressure off the Titanics because like even if you didn't get a Titanic, like you're getting so many huges that. I mean, you could sell them all. It's a little bit more work, obviously, but you can sell them all and then go buy the Titanic of your choice, so.
And one thing that, before I even got Partner, something I suggested back in PSX was they should come out with partner-themed pets. So
I know.
Like the exclusive NightFoxx.
Yeah, we've joked about that for a long time. I think from a business perspective, you kind of, when you do that, you kind of like put a lot of trust in the person you make a huge pet out of. Say like they made something of me and then I came out and did something highly controversial and and found out that I wasn't really a good person. No, now there's this just pet in game of this, not like, it's just one of those like, oh, well, that didn't age well sort of situations. And I think that's what scares them a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an IP thing because a lot of people have like really expressed the interest to do that. Like if big games reached out to me and be like, hey, you want me to make you a pet? I would agree. Like I don't care. Make money off of me if that's what you want to do. I just want a cool pet in the game. Like that's my payment.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not really worried about, you know, having my likeness or whatever make them money. Like people just want pets, you know, like that's what it is. Like I'm not worried about that aspect. I think it's more of a, do we really want to like enshrine this person in our game sort of situation? I don't know.
Yeah, they
I'm not
kind of did
Preston.
it. They kind of did it with that clan battle huge.
Oh yeah, well, sort of. I mean,
A little bit.
I kind of just like said that was me, and kind of but I kind of just I made that happen. Like I was like, yeah, it looks like me. Okay, it is me.
Yeah, I remember you were trying to collect them all.
Yeah, I think I got like 5, something around there, and I was like, okay, this is a lost cause.
So speaking of clan battles, there was actually something I wanted to talk about with clan battles.
Oh boy. Okay.
So you left Boss.
Yes.
You gave ownership to Arwen Rocks.
Yes.
Was it the whole clan system? Was it the battles? Was it the drama? Or were you just wanting to leave it?
It was a little bit of all three. Yeah, well, I mean, for one, I mean, Winrocks and I both, like, we started Boss. Like, I'm the one that, like, was the face of it. And I'm the one that, like, found the name, got the, you know, rights to it, made the clan. Like, sure, I created it, but, like, we went into it together full on. Because we all came from, like, Hippo Melon. In fact, like, probably half the members of Boss that are on it even now all came from the Hippo Melon clan. And we left the Hippo Melon clan because it was mainly because of Coilus. Like Coilus was the reason we all left, and it was because like he was the leader. And at the time you couldn't kick your leader. You couldn't do a mutiny. but so like we were like trying to beg him to like play, and you know, like we were up against like Goop, and I think Dala was in it. There's a couple other like really big ones. I think the Harm clan was there's like a lot of big clans, and they were like pulling all of their people and cycling and like filling up every last little spot, and then their leader was still doing stuff, and like we were keeping up with them, but we had one big glaring 0 on all of our battles, and it's because Coilus was just like MIA for like weeks and weeks and weeks at a time.
Yeah.
And so we all got fed up, and we were like, okay, look, Coilus, we're just gonna have to leave. We want to like actually play and compete here. So that's why Boss was made. The problem with that, you know, obviously as clan battles kind of became to be known as, it's a bunch of unfairness. If it wasn't pay to win, it was like people using macros, and then people cycling, and people finding these weird loopholes all the time. I was hardcore into clan battles. I didn't expect to be like that. The video that me choosing like sides and stuff, that was like one of my best performing Pet Simulator videos for like the first 6 months. And if you learn anything about YouTube, is when content works, you just kind of do it again until it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's how I got into Pet Sim, but that's a whole nother story. The clan battles were the biggest thing. So like I was like involved in clan battles. Like I made a point to like have videos on them, but like I started noticing the more I would do a video on it, the more I'd have people come after me about it. Like in other clans, they would like to like dog on me or like steal like my methods or whatever, or, you know, like it just start drama. And they knew that if they started drama, I would talk about it in the video, and then I would mention them, and then they would be happy. You know, like people start unnecessary drama just so that they can get attention.
Yeah.
I had a couple people be like, "Yay, I'm happy you put me in your video," and it was coming off of them calling me names and saying how much I sucked, you know, for like weeks at a time. And then I like put like one little tweet of theirs in a video, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm a huge fan." Like, are you kidding me? The only reason you did all this was just so you could get noticed. It was like rage bait is what it was. So like between all of that and the amount of grinding you had to do, how unfair it was for the normal player, I just got tired of it. I started noticing like a lot of people being like really just like disconnected from clan battles. Like for a while it was, you know, like people were interested, but then once everybody started seeing the same people winning over and over again, People just didn't want to be interested in it anymore. They wanted to move on. I mean, nobody even really talks about it anymore anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just got really bad for me. And plus, like once the summer hit, like I was doing a lot more traveling, and I couldn't be glued to my computer as much anymore.
Mm.
And I didn't want to let my team down. I didn't want to become Coilist and do the same thing. So I actually reached out to the devs and I was like, "Hey, I would really like to not be in clan battles anymore. Can we like make a system where we can transfer ownerships?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll work on it." And then they did like 2 weeks later. So,
That's cool.
yeah. So as soon as they were able to do that, I left and was just like, it was like a load off, man. I felt so much better, and I kind of did it with like the intention of coming back in like a month after I took a break, but when I came back, it was worse than ever. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm done. So yeah,
Yeah, it seems like
how...
the battles are just getting worse and worse every battle.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not like if all the little kids and stuff like they're playing on their phone, they're not gonna be able to AFK things. They're not gonna be able to set up macros, and they're definitely not gonna be able to pay to win. It was never fair for them. Probably for like the last 3 months that I did clan battles, I would be playing just so that I could get the rewards and give away the rewards. Like I recognize that. I mean, it's kind of like, what is that weird Dark Knight saying? Like you're a hero until you live long enough to become a villain. Like I feel like Boss was the hero to take down like Goop, but then I knew this even when creating. I was like, guys, if we end up winning this thing and we win often, they're going to end up hating us too. So yeah, like I knew it was always going to be. It never had anything good. Like it was always going to be bad.
Yeah,
it was just like a thing right then because the videos were doing well, and I felt like I needed to talk about clan battles. It was just a new aspect of the game, but when I saw the writing on the wall and people just got it like angry with it, and it was just drama and hate and just all this stuff all the time, I was just like, okay, I'm done. Yeah, so
yeah. With PSX had a great community. It was
they did.
Everybody played together. There was no real drama in PSX, but once they implemented clans, it just seemed like that's where all the drama and hate started.
Yes. Yeah. Couple that with like not really having big chests that people can grind together. There's not a sense of community in this game that there was in Pet Simulator X at all.
And you would think there would be more sense of community since we could build our own little communities, but it's just like communities versus communities.
Yeah, it's just the elites playing against each other, and leaving out all the little guys. I have so many people still. Like I'm not even in Boss Clan anymore. I mean, I still have people asking me if they can be in the clan, and like it's just like I would love for you to be in the clan, but at the same time, like everybody else that's already in the clan, like they're trying to win, and you don't want to be the guy that brings down the whole clan. And so like it's just there's so many like little kids and stuff that are like want to get involved with these clan battles. They can't. Like I wouldn't want them to anyway because it's just heartache. But they just want to be a part of something, and it's just the whole thing is broken. I knew it was just gonna like all the clans were gonna. It's just like any kind of like sport, like any like NBA sport or NFL. Like all these teams want the best players so that they can win. And if you aren't the best, you're not good enough for the team. And it's just I don't know. I don't like clan battles anymore. I wish they would just die.
Yeah, I personally, if I wasn't in the Blox family clan, if me and my wife and I weren't running the Blox family clan together, I probably wouldn't join any other clan. And right now, this is our best battle so far. We're 12th.
Oh, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're 12th right now. We're trying to get in the top 10. And Goop is in 3rd. Which is surprising. And
yeah,
it seeing Goop win every single battle is just it makes you not even want to play anymore.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt too.
Yeah, and it's
why I'm on the Boone clan with Wieslow, and we're currently 583rd place. We're doing great.
Yeah, I would say probably 6 months ago, Black's Family Clan was like top 1,000.
Okay.
And
Oh wow,
so
so you've really grown it then.
yeah, I was in Boss 2, and we got knocked out of the top 10. A little bit of drama started in the Discord, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go back and just focus on one clan, because I had my
Hmm.
alt in there, and then my main account in Boss 2. That little drama started. I'm like, I'm just going to focus on one clan.
Yeah.
And so I started promoting our clan. I got some friends in the clan, and we just kept working at it. We got top 100, top 50, top 30, and right now we're in the top 15, which is awesome.
I'm rooting for you. I understand that like Boss Clan is number one right now, but I'm rooting for you guys.
Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah. With the whole clan thing, I think after we get our first top 10, I think I might back away from it a little bit.
Mhm.
Not to
It's
discourage any of my clan members. I might back away from it.
it's a lot of work. I feel like everybody needs some kind of break at some point, or else you'll
Mhm.
just get burned out completely.
Especially
Um,
when they had clan battles every week.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is nice to have the break. Like I understand that they're trying to do these clan battles now to like help the kids, like get. Yeah, and that's like I think Winrux was even talking about it. Like, yeah, this clan battle is crazy pay to win, but it's pay to win in the way that you're paying it to those that are less fortunate,
Mhm.
So like I'm okay with this type of pay to win where it's not going to the devs, it's going to the other players, and
Mhm.
you're spreading the wealth, so to speak. And yeah, let the elites battle that out. Like let them go crazy trying to compete against each other, because the only people that are going to end up being rewarded in the end is the general community. Like that,
Mhm.
that is awesome. I like that aspect of the clan battles.
Yeah. Yeah. These last two definitely benefited a lot of the smaller community.
Hmm. Hmm.
But if you want to win the battle, you got to have a lot of huges. You got to have a lot of gems, a lot of wealth. I'm already
For
over 10
sure.
billion for this one.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't.
My wife sold a Titanic, and sold her Titanic that she hatched from this event. And she sold it yesterday. She bought a bunch of those clover things, the Mega Luck.
Hmm.
And let me see, I think she's over 10 million points now.
Oh geez.
Right now, she's at 10.9 million points.
Jeez, yeah, she's in it. Wow.
Yeah, she's having fun though. She loves it. She doesn't. She's not like most players. She doesn't care about her wealth. She'll sell everything just to enjoy the game.
Hmm. That's
And
good. I mean, that's inherently like that's why you play it, because
mhm.
you enjoy it.
Yeah, and she's having fun. Me, her, and two of our friends, we sit at the egg at the present, and we were hatching till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow.
But it's fun. I don't want to stick too long on clan battles though. But there is one thing I did want to talk about. One more thing with the clans
Okay.
is Cat Clan. The whole drama between Hippo Melon and Cat Clan.
Yeah.
So you did listen
Uh,
to the numerous
uh-huh.
podcasts where
Uh-huh.
he talks about you, talks about
Uh-huh.
the drama and all that. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Um, yeah. I like this is just one of those things where you make a joke and it gets blown way farther out of proportion than what you thought. Like I was just trying to make a joke in the moment. I thought it'd be just kind of like a funny like haha, that's kind of true, and that's
Mm,
kind of where it was, but then like it took a life on its own. Like I remember when that happened, and I do remember like legit feeling bad. Like it was supposed to just be like yeah, I got you, like kind of like a roast sort of situation,
yeah.
not a okay, now that's your whole persona situation,
Hmm.
and we're all gonna hate you now. Like that was I was just trying to roast people. I wasn't trying to like make it way worse. Yeah, it was bad. No, like I said, I think it took off because there was some truth to it, and people just kind of latched onto it.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess when you like roast somebody and it's a little bit too close to like the truth, people will not see it so much as a joke. They'll see it as like, oh yeah, he's right, 100%. Let's get him, let's cancel him or whatever. And so like that's yeah, it blew out of proportion. I do feel bad about it. I know Numerous doesn't think I feel bad, and that my apology video wasn't that great. Again, this is more of just like a persona making a video sort of situation. Like I joke a lot, and sometimes it doesn't like come across in videos, or especially on like Twitter and stuff where posts happen, because you can't like read context within like text and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I have fallen victim to being like, I'm messing around and I post this thing and they take it seriously. And I'm like, oh, no, wait, hold on. I wasn't being serious. I was just joking. I don't actually have a problem with like everybody in the Cat Clan. I do think that like, I mean, they do clickbait. I know this is a whole big topic. Is this a topic you want to get into?
Well, I was in Cat Clan at that time. And
so you were just okay. So you were just a victim.
yeah, I had people coming up to me in the plaza. They'll be like, "Oh, you're in Cat Clan, clickbaiter."
I'm sorry. Yeah, there was only really like 3 or 4 people that I was really referring to. You were just kind of like the innocent bystander that just got caught up in the crossfire. No. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this. The whole like clickbait thing. It's like I said. I've listened to every single podcast that you've done, all episodes, full start to finish. They're great. I love this. I think this is like one of my favorite things. It's fun being a part of a podcast and knowing like every aspect that they're talking about, and like being able to like agree. And I don't get to talk about like pet sim and stuff with a lot of people most of the time, with the exception of like on Twitter or like in videos or whatever. But it's nice hearing like people voice, their concerns with the community and all that stuff. I love this podcast. This is great. I wish it the best. But as Numerous kind of said with like, in regards to like clickbaiting and stuff, I do agree with him in that, like the world kind of revolves around clickbait now. It does. It's I mean, every like movie that you see, every like Netflix show, like everything has like clickbait, but like the term clickbait it's used a lot negatively, which I think Numerous also said. And there are different forms of clickbait, and I'm not talking about like the clickbait that when I talk about it, like and talk about it in a bad way. I'm not talking about like the clickbait that's used to like entice audience. As long as you can exaggerate a clickbait. So like, I'll give a prime example. If you look at one of my earlier videos, I think it was last week when I like maxed out the tree birth for the decorating of the tree. I think I said like I maxed out the tree and hatched a Titanic. When you hear that, it sounds like clickbait, and it is. It really is. But the point of like a video itself or the point of a thumbnail itself is to kind of portray what happens in the video. When you watch my video, I did max out the tree and I did hatch a Titanic out of it. Like I that happened. It's just hard to put all of that information in a single thumbnail, and portray all that information without it looking like crazy clickbaity and misleading. But like you watch the video, that's something that did happen. An example of like misleading clickbait. Oh God, we'll use Numerous as an example because he's still doing it. So like that's like 2 days before I made my video, like I purposely waited so that I could max out the upgrades. Kind of like what we're doing now. My guys are in the bag. We're maxing out upgrades. We're doing all this again. But he made a video literally the day after the update, which was kind of like my video that I was working on, which was already kind of annoying. And in his video, he's like, I think the thumbnail said something like, "This is the easiest way you can hatch huges." it was dealing with the tree, but then in the thumbnail itself, it looked like he hatched like 4 of the crackling dragons, and then you watch the video and he didn't hatch any. Like that's where the misleading part comes in. Like you can make enticing thumbnails, you can make clickbaity thumbnails and titles, you just can't mislead. And I think that's the difference. Like there's good clickbait and there's misleading clickbait, and I'm more concerned about the people that mislead the audience and stuff. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, with the titles as well. Like one example for Numerous, he posted a video.
Poor Numerous.
Let me just pull his video up real quick so I don't mess up anything. He posted a video saying the easiest way to hatch one of the pets. This huge pet is 1 in 200, super easy. I believe that's the video. So his way of hatching
that's the exact video I'm talking about. How he showed that he hatched all 4 in that, and then he didn't hatch any. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, he uses the Forever Pack to obtain the ornaments that he needs, or the pets that he needs to donate to get the ornaments. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. That is the easiest way, possibly. But it's not a way that everybody can do. We don't all have 400,000 Robux to spend on the game.
Yeah.
So, although it wasn't like really clickbait, having the picture of the huge in the thumbnail saying he hatched it, yeah, that's the clickbait part. But saying that it's super easy and he ended up not even getting it,
See, I would have and this is the other thing about like Numerous and a couple of other people that are in the community. Like I've reached out to them numerous times, no pun intended, about the difference about their issue with their thumbnails and stuff. And like I kind of was like, a lot of times I dog on them. Like I said, I like roasting a lot of people. It's all fun. I do it out of like respect most of the time. I actually respect Numerous. I think he's a good dude. Especially after listening to his like episode and stuff and his family values. Like he's a good kid. His head's in the right space. I think he grew up in the generation where he was always clickbaited. And so like he doesn't know anything different. Yeah, and I kind of recognize that. And I think like after like 6 months of me talking with him about it, he was just like fed up that I was like messing with him, and he asked me to back off, and I have since, but he hasn't stopped, and I still have my thoughts, but I just don't voice them so much anymore. And it seems as though our main core audience also they do care, but at the same time they don't. I started noticing people like defending Numerous and stuff on issues that like they are being misled, but like they just don't care that they are. And I'm like, well, if you don't care and he doesn't like me doing it, like what am I doing? I just feel like an old geezer over here, like just talking about kids on my lawn, or something like that. So like I had backed off, but I have reached out to them numerous of times just to be like, hey, if you need help, like trying to make good clickbaity things that aren't misleading, like let me know, like I will. Just my DMs are open. Like, just message me, being like, "Do you think this is a good title? How would you approach this?" Like, I've extended that offer to them. They just don't do it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, you put a lot of work into your thumbnails, your titles.
Yes, yeah. In fact, probably minus update days. Update days are a little different, just because like leaks and stuff don't happen as much anymore. So like I don't usually know what the update videos are going to be about until like 5-10 minutes before the update comes out. Cause like I've got Nick, he's my pet sim guy, but he like looks for the dev blog. Like as soon as it's like 30 minutes before the update, he is like refreshing the page over and over again until the dev blog pops up. And then the second it pops up, he sends it to my Discord or whatever, and then I look at it and I try to like hurry up and gather a video idea. But outside of like update days, yeah, like my titles and thumbnails are the very first thing I think about. Like I think about like how a video would look based off of the thumbnail and the title, and then once I find like a good, oh yeah, this would be a cool video idea, then I work to like find out if it's possible or not. And that's just something you learn. Like a lot of the big YouTubers, that's how they kind of work and stuff. They think about title and thumbnail first, and then they work on the video afterwards.
Yeah, a lot of people when they see big YouTubers playing the game, like there's a few partners right now that are under rank 20 in the game. And a lot of people have asked me, do partners and YouTubers actually enjoy playing the game, actually play the game to play the game? So when you do these update videos, are you playing to enjoy it, or are you just making your content?
So yeah, I do really enjoy these updates. I really enjoy playing the game. I know it's a little weird, I guess, for somebody our age to be playing Roblox. Blah 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 is what it is. But no, I do enjoy it. In fact, probably my two favorite days of the week are Friday and Saturday, just because there's new updates and it's new things, and it's like, like anytime you get something new, you're excited to see it, especially if it's in something you already enjoy. Like, think about anytime a game updates that you enjoy, like you're gonna just hop to it and love it. I mean, those are some of the easiest videos I make. The bad part about that is what people don't see, and it's the behind the scenes. Like, yeah, like I love update days. I love hopping in and recording. What I hate doing is trying to rush a video out to make sure that it still gets out in a time period that people are still interested in the update. It's the behind the scenes. It's like, as soon as, like, I'll be recording a video, and as soon as the video ends, sometimes even before that, sometimes, like, God, I think there was like a few weeks ago they came out with like 20 new huges. And I was like, man, sorry, I'm pooping out eggs. Yeah, there was like 20 new huges to get. None of these are Titanic, sadly. I saw people are having a bunch of Titanics. I am going to try to hatch a Titanic this video. Numerous head luck, 10-1 head luck. Man, I think you got some weird juju luck over here I'm going to take advantage of. Anyway, so like the 20 huges video, like it was taking a long time to get all those huges. Like that's the other aspect of like people saying like I pay to win. I have to, to get these video out in time. Like if I tried to get all 20 of those huges like how everybody else does, you still wouldn't have the update video. It still wouldn't be out. And it's been like 3 weeks at this point. So like I have to do it to like try to rush to get it out. But even still, with all of that, like it was taking hours, and then I had to turn around and like get it edited. My thumbnail artists don't actually work on Fridays and Saturdays anymore. I'm actually having to look for somebody who will now again. So like I'm now doing the thumbnails again. Just with all of that, trying to rush to get it out, same day. It's really, really stressful. And that's the part I don't enjoy. But outside of that, yeah, I love this game. I love playing the game. All of my reactions are genuine. I act like a little 5-year-old kid, and that comes across as annoying to like some of the older folks. I heard Power Max say he doesn't like watching me because I'm over the top. That's just how I am. So, I'm sorry.
Hey, my wife said that what she really loves in your videos is when your voice gets high pitched.
Yeah. That's not voluntary. That just happens. I squeal. I mean, what do you want from me?
Yeah, I tried doing the whole update video thing. I don't know how you guys do it. I'm doing it by myself. I record, edit, thumbnail, everything all by myself, and I'll get the video out the same day, but it'll be like 8, 9 o'clock at night. It's crazy how you guys get it out within like 3 hours.
Well, I noticed that like a lot of the other people, like LCLC and Gravy Catman, Russo, when he was hardcore into like doing the updates when they were doing them, they don't really edit their videos. Like LCLC kind of does. I did notice that like his editing has gone down quite a bit. It's funny because he started. This is just kind of like the weird beef that we have, but he started making videos, doing updates, and he was like posting like 7, 8 o'clock at night. My time, I don't know what, it'd probably be like midnight his time. He's in the UK. But he would do that because I was always like taking the time and like really making the video well done. I was focusing a lot on the quality and the edit, and so I was always posting like the next morning. And then I started noticing that like by the time the next morning came around, like the update was all old news and people weren't watching it enough. And so I was like, well, I wonder what happened if I updated it and did it the same day. So like I hired a guy to help me edit. And we got it down to like 3 p.m. So like with the update would come out at noon, I would record till 1, and then I would send him the footage. I would work on like half the footage, he would work on half the footage, and then we would just kind of put it together and put it out. And we would get it out like 3:30 or 4. Sometimes it's a little bit later, 5 or whatever. And then I started noticing LCLC just stopped editing his videos as much just so he could get it out again before me. And I was like, okay, dude, what the heck? But like it comes to a point, and I think this is kind of like this is just a fault of mine. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. There just comes to a point where the quality, it's not worth getting a video out faster. You know, because like after the update, like people do still watch your videos, like you know, like it's especially like how long the week is and stuff, and especially if there's like a couple of weeks without an update, like people will watch that update video. I mean, when the new update comes out, sure, the old update video is old news at that point, but like people do watch it. And you know, if it's like Monday or Tuesday, they're not going to be so concerned about how quickly you got it out. They're going to be more concerned about like how quality is this video. So I just have like a limit that I can hit, and where we are now, like I get it out like 5 or 6 p.m. And that's like me hardcore frenzy. Like I tell my family, like, look, I'm in my office for the next 6 hours, nobody talk to me. And that's just kind of how it's just came to be. You know, like Friday, Saturday is like I'm glued to my computer until the video is out. And then it's just, you know, like I just try to get it out as quickly as possible while still reclaiming as much quality as possible.
Yeah, your videos are always great quality. Something for me, what takes the longest for me is finding the right music. My editing skills are basic, nothing too crazy. But
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How long do you spend with music on your videos? Like how long does it take you to find music to put on it?
Just to find the right songs that I actually like, feel the rhythm and everything, it probably 45 minutes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, good. That's about how long I take as well.
Okay.
It's an art that a lot of people don't use, and I think it's something that like you're like closer to my age than like a lot of these YouTubers are. I'm assuming. I don't actually know your age.
I'm 33.
You got 6 kids. I know you're at least in your 30s. Yeah, so like you and I, we grew up in a time period before YouTube was, and you know, like we would watch movies and stuff, and music score is so important, especially like God, man, in the 90s, like music scores and videos were insane. Like I mean, think like Jurassic Park and like anything that oh God, what was this? I think John Williams used to do. Just like a whole like there's like all these like composers and stuff that like had these really iconic videos and the music that went with them. And yeah, it's just music is not something that is in YouTube as much anymore, especially in the gaming space. Like music helps the audience feel what they're supposed to feel in the video. Like if you want people to feel scared, you know, like it like having the visual there is cool and all, but like have the visual with scary music or suspenseful music, it's going to have them subconsciously feel even more on edge. If you want it to be happy or like an epic moment, you want to have epic music to go with it, to have them, it kind of like curates how you want your audience to feel. Music is very important. I'm glad that you spend as long as you do. That just shows me that you care a lot about the work that you put in. So yeah, hats off to you.
Thank you. Yeah, the music is definitely, like you said, it keeps you in the video. When I'm watching my montage videos, because those are the ones that take the longest for me to choose music, because when they're doing like the 1000 egg hatching video I just did, I needed music that's going to keep you in there, you know?
Yes.
And then I have videos where I did with my kids will be like Doors or any other one of those scary games. I'll try to find the perfect, you know, scary themed music to put, kind of low, and then when something's about to happen, I'll start raising it up, and it just gives more energy to the video.
Yes. And it increases like the view duration because, as you said, like if you want to keep people like interested, you want to put like music to it as well. And don't do the thing that I see a lot of YouTubers do, where they choose one song and then play it over and over again for 20 minutes straight.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people doing that, especially with pet sim videos. They use the same
Woozlo
exact
does
song.
that. Woozlo does that, and it makes me so mad. I call him out on it every time. Like I'll be like, Woozlo, not only are you using the same song over and over again the whole video, you're using the same song every video the whole video. Like, please stop it. You went to film school. You should be able to do this.
So how did that friendship start? I know you guys are good friends.
Yeah, it's a little weird just because like we're like 10 years apart. Actually might even be a little bit more than that. Like I started YouTube pretty late in life. I was, God, how old was I? think I was 26 when I started. Something around there. Yeah, 26. And I was playing basically just what my kids wanted to watch, which at the time was Minecraft. And Woozlo, known as Joker 2039 back in the early days, he used to be a map builder, where he would like build maps to play Minecraft maps on. And he made a couple of maps, and I liked them, and I like recorded videos on them and stuff. And like a couple of times we were in the maps, I wanted him to join as well, so that like, because if you're gonna put like all this work in, like I think back in the day, like people would build maps and they would put like their name on the sign, and that's how YouTubers would credit who made the maps, and that was it. And I was like, that's kind of lame. Why don't we just have the map maker in the video itself? And so like I invited him to like come into the videos and stuff, and then I found out that he was also aspiring to do YouTube. I had like 3,000 subs at the time. He had like 1,000. We were kind of like the same. He was trying. I was trying. I didn't really have anybody to like talk YouTube stuff with, and he was kind of that person who matched that energy of really wanting to make YouTube work. So yeah, we just started talking a lot, and we did Minecraft together, and we would like pitch ideas off of each other. I'd help him in his videos, he would help him in my videos, and then it kind of just grew from there. And when I moved over to Roblox, he was like, "Yeah, I'm coming with you." And then he started in Roblox content as well. He changed his name to Woozlo, and kind of just haven't looked back since. Like he did Flee the Facility with me. And then when Piggy was big, he did Piggy with me. Like he just follows me everywhere. I kind of can't get rid of him. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you guys have a great friendship there.
Yeah, no, it's been, we've been friends for about like, oh god, it's been almost 10 years at this point. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he's a good kid.
You said he changed his name. So what about your name? Where did you get that name from?
It's kind of, so like back in like 2007, 2008, I actually started a film company, and I called it NightFoxx Studios. I don't know why I chose that name. I've tried to like think about why it came up. I think I just liked the name. Just had some like edginess to it or something at the time. I don't know. I can't tell you. But I did. I started a production company where we like made like short films and videos and commercials and stuff. But as I said, it was 2008, and 2008 for any kind of startup was a bad idea. So that didn't work out. And then it kind of became like, I like the name, so I kept it, and it was my gamer tag for Xbox. And then when I started YouTube, I was playing Minecraft on Xbox, and I was like, well, my name is already NightFoxx, so why don't I just make my YouTube channel that? And so that's what I did. And awesome. Yeah, I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, the logo, very unique. It's very nice. I like your logo very much. Did you design it?
No, not really. No, I hired an artist. I kind of told him what I wanted, and I was like, like a lot of these YouTubers, they have, like they have like either like really kiddish logos or they'll have their face or whatever, and like I've got a face of Mother Only Loves, and like I didn't want to like wear merch, like because I like wearing like it's a way to like promote your brand or whatever, but like if I didn't want to be seen out in public wearing my own merch, I couldn't then turn around and expect somebody else to. So when I designed my logo, I was like, what would be cool that like I could wear that I wouldn't have to necessarily talk about, and it would just kind of be like if you see somebody with that logo out in the wild, if sort of situation.
Yeah.
Like you can wear my stuff without, like, even if you are a fan now and you're not a fan 5 years from now, you can still wear that logo just because it's cool. Like that's kind of the mindset I had when I made my logo. I wanted something subtle that I would be okay with wearing in public and not having to answer a lot of questions.
Yeah, with my logo, I'm a big dude with a big beard. If you see me with the Blox family logo on my shirt, you're gonna be like, what?
Yeah, and that's kind of just the mentality. It's something you think about more when you're older versus like when you're younger. Yeah, there's just like an adult aspect to it of, like subtleness. And that's kind of what I wanted. So
Yeah, and your hat, the black hat with the black logo on it, that's really nice. That's something I'd wear 100% of the time.
And that was the entire point. It's something like I want to give you something that you would like to wear and not feel weird about it.
All right. There was a question that a friend of mine wanted me to ask.
Okay.
Your daughter gave away one of your Titanics to release the Quacken. He wants to know if
Oh,
she
yeah,
got
yeah,
grounded
yeah.
for that.
No. I told her she could give a Titanic away. This is just the behind the scenes. Like I expected her to do something. I was like, there needs to be something in the video that happens. It's a wow factor or a shock factor or whatever. And I knew that's what it was going to be. I don't remember which one she ended up giving away, but I know when she gave that one away, I was like, oh no, why that one? And that was kind of a little bit of a misstep on my part. I probably should have like told her which ones were like off limits or whatever. But it's fine. Like it was for the video. It was fine. Like obviously the videos, like they make, like they make money, and like if I really wanted to get it back, like part of the money that video make, I could like go ahead and get it back again and still kind of come out, in the positive. So like it wasn't that big of a deal. A little mildly annoying, but the reaction that I had was genuine because I didn't expect her to do that one. Yeah. So like, no, she didn't get in trouble. I told her she could do it, and it made for a good video. Now she's a good sport about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that one. I didn't know about it. He brought it up right before we started recording. And I'm like, oh, and it was released to Quacken too. That got it, and she's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, I think we're friends, and whenever you hop in trade servers, sometimes you get put in the trade server with like a friend, and I think it was just like my daughter just hopped in a trade server, and Quacken was there, and I don't know how they ended up trading, but they did. So,
So, your YouTube experience when you first started to now, what's the biggest differences? What do you love most? What do you hate most?
So, whenever YouTube first started for me, it was definitely a hobby. Yeah, I mean, you kind of know like how like whenever you like have kids and stuff, your priorities change a little bit. I was working in like IT. It's like I was working for IT, but I was also working for the government in IT, and the really it's a good stable job, but the bad part about working for the government is like you never get raises like ever. Yeah, like I had been working for like 5-6 years in the government at that point, and like still just like not getting a raise or whatever, and I just felt stuck. And I was like, God, man, what am I gonna do? I gotta get some like extra money. My kids are like starting school, and like they want like, all these extracurricular activities, and like my wife was in college still trying to like finish up her master's degree, and like so it was like a one income family for a while, and like we were struggling bad.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, what can I do? And it was like right around that time, it was like 2014, a news article about PewDiePie came out, and it was talking about like how much money he made. And it was like insane. I was like, oh my God, dude, you can make money on YouTube. Like I always thought YouTube was like a how-to, like learning how to do stuff. Like that's what I always used it for before like 2013. I knew that there was like a gaming side of stuff, but like I was just like an avid gamer. Like I played games on my own. I didn't really care about like finding the best tricks and tips on how to like play video games. So like I didn't really use YouTube at all before like 2013. Minus just like, you know, how to do stuff, or my wife would watch it for like funny videos every now and then. But like I didn't know anything about the gaming space until I saw my kids watching. Oh God, it was Stampy. They were like 6, 8 at the time, and so they were watching him. And I was like, oh cool, there's like a gaming side of things where they're just like playing the game and people watch. That's weird. I don't know why you would watch somebody else play a video game. Why don't you just play it yourself? Anyway, so like that kind of like sat in the back of my mind, and then I saw PewDiePie like make like just a crap ton of money from it, and I was like, is it really something that people can do and make money on? I was like, man, I need some money. I'll take this. And so like I always approached YouTube as like a business. Like it was a hobby, but it was a hobby in which like a lot of people, like they have hobbies and stuff, and like if you golf or whatever, if you go play sports, like you have to buy the equipment, you have to buy the rights to like play on like the fields or like the golf course, or like there's a lot of different hobbies you out there that you have to do, that you have to pay money to do those hobbies. And I saw YouTube as like a hobby that actually paid you to do the hobby.
Yep.
So I was like, dude, this kind of works. You know, I can do what Stampy does. I can just play video games and upload it. I've got, you know, video editing experience. Like I said, I started my own company back in like 2007, 2008 that flopped, but like I had video editing experience and video filming experience. And so I just thought, like, let's do this. Let's do this as a hobby, and I'll make some side cash on the side. And it did help for a little bit. It wasn't much, you know, like I probably didn't really see YouTube as something more than just like something I did outside of work until around like 2018. So like I had done it for like 3 years at that point.
So now it's your full-time job?
Yeah. So like in 2018, Minecraft wasn't working for me anymore. My kids had stopped really like watching it. And for a long time, whatever they wanted is what I did. You know, like I wanted them, they were my kids were my target audience. Like I wanted to make content for them to watch. I didn't want them to go off and watch another YouTuber that was going to cuss a lot. I wanted to be like that good role model for them. And then also get them involved in videos. So like whenever they jumped ship from Minecraft to Roblox, like I followed them. And doing that is when my channel started to like take off. You know, I guess Minecraft was too saturated or whatever. And Roblox allowed me to kind of just like do a reset and start over, and I started doing well. And around like 2019, like a year after that, is when things started really taking off for me. And I thought, man, I could maybe do this for a job. So I started working for it, and I did actually go full time in let's see, what was it? February of 2020, right before COVID hit. And I was going to do that, and we were in the process of trying to buy a house as well. And our bank came back to us and was like, hey, I noticed you don't have a job. And I was like, hey, I do have a job. This is what I'm making. And it was like more than like I had made at my, you know, like IT job. It was like quite a bit more actually by that point. And they for whatever reason, banks hate YouTubers. Like they just hate them. It's just because it's so volatile, and they don't really know what to think of it. It's like such a new thing still. At least when you're like an adult trying to find like financing for houses and stuff, like banks just they don't like So they don't like YouTubers. So like I told them, I was like, this is what I'm making a year, and this is what I've been making like for the past 2 years, like, and it's getting better every year. Like, what do you mean you won't finance me? Like, we just want more of a stable, income or something that's not so volatile. And I was like, all right, fine. And so I went back to work. I went full time for like 2 months, and then I went back to work. And I was working full time while still trying to do full time YouTube for like a year after that. COVID helped, obviously we couldn't go anywhere. So like I was one of those like essential employees because I was doing IT work. Like all of the companies that I was working for, they were trying to transition from their in office to work from home, and they needed people to like get laptops and set up laptops and go to the people's houses and like set up their workstations at their house. And like this is the other reason why I have like the room that I have. Like I've probably made like 10,000 setups in the past like 3 or 4 years.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so like I learned how to like cable manage and like make setups look nice so that people could like do their day-to-day work stuff. And I did that for like a year and then when we got our house and like the banks were like, okay, just make the payments. And I was like, okay, I will do that by being a full-time YouTuber. Because by then it didn't matter. And so then I quit in it was like July of 2021. But at the time I hadn't done Pet Simulator. And I was doing, it was like it was like coming off the Piggy high, where Piggy wasn't really doing very well. And I was kind of in search for a new game, because that's kind of how it works as a YouTuber, especially in the Roblox space. When a game doesn't work, you pivot until you land somewhere. And then once you land somewhere, you kind of just like grow your community from there. And so like things weren't really working for me until my friend Nick was playing Pet Simulator. And I used to make fun of him about it because I hate simulators. I know it sounds weird, but I hated them. I hated like all the grinding. I was like, dude, if I'm just gonna do work in a game, I'm just gonna go work in real life. Like I don't feel like there's nothing rewarding about watching a coin explode from a pet. So like I didn't like play it for the longest time. Like Nick played it like when it first came out, and I made fun of him for like 2 months. And then when nothing was like really working, I saw him playing one day, and I saw that the Halloween update was about to drop. And I was like, you know what? All right, whatever. Let's play this. I was friends with Russo. I was friends with like Terabyte and them, and I saw that they were doing really well. And I was like, let's do this. Why not? And so I did one video. And when that video came out, like it was bad. Like it was like my worst performing video by far. Wow. Like I was probably like averaging like 5,000-10,000 views a video, which was already bad for me at that time. And I think that Pet Sim video came out, and it was like 1,000 views after like the first 5 days. Wow. I was like, yeah, I hate simulators. I'm not doing this again. And then something interesting happened. It was like out of nowhere. I didn't change the thumbnail. I didn't change the title. I didn't obviously change the video. I didn't do another video. I had pretty much chalked it up to a one and done. And randomly about 2 weeks later, it started taking off. And it took off crazy. I think I got 2 million views on that video.
Wow.
Like I didn't change anything. It was just, I guess it got picked up in the algorithm and people wanted to see it. And it did. But I couldn't. And usually when that happens, you want to rush and make another one. Well, I couldn't do that because I was in the middle of trying to do the MrBeast Squid Game. Like I was in a hotel room coming back at like 3 a.m. from filming with him. And I like laid down in bed and just checked my YouTube analytics and saw that out of nowhere, I had a 2 million viewed video. So, when I came back from that, I then doubled down and did some more Pet Sim content. It did well. Then I did the MrBeast video. That did well. Got me an audience that I didn't really care to have, but it did well anyway. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just go all in on Pet Sim. And so that's what I did. And here we are, 3 years later at this point. So yeah, since 2021, I was full time. And for that first like 5 months, it was bad. And you just try things until it works. I gave myself a year. If I didn't do well in that first year of being full time, I would just like, I think I said I was going to quit YouTube. Actually, I was like, yeah, I can't keep doing both.
Yeah.
So it's either YouTube works after this year. If it doesn't, then I just stop. And obviously, I got like 5 months in, and then it blew up. So
and that's good. And we have you here, and that's awesome. Everybody loves you. Uh, mostly everybody.
Yeah. I got a few enemies. That's all right. It happens. If you don't have any enemies, you're not doing it right. That's how I feel.
Now, there was something I wanted to bring up back when you were talking about LCLC. I wanted to know, is there really a beef between you guys?
Yes, there is. A little bit. It's really weird. I don't really want to talk about it too much just because like I'm trying to like move past it a little bit. Yeah. We've kind of just agreed to disagree and just kind of went our separate ways at this point. Okay. It's really weird. When I first, like when he started blowing up and I started blowing up, we were actually really good friends. We would talk every day. We would like, discuss things back and forth. I remember when he had his big beef with Digito, like he would like come to me for advice and I would like talk with him about it. And then I would get like, I was also friends with Digito. So like I would go talk with Digito and be like, hey, this is how he kind of feels. Can we like, I was like the mediator kind of deal. And, like obviously that kind of got squashed and went on its way. And we still would talk for a while. I remember when PetSim started dying the first time, like he was like kind of, I don't think he was panicking, but like he was definitely like, my channel's dead. What do I do? Like he was asking for advice on how to like pivot and stuff. And I was like trying to help him through it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm still trying to like, I still try to figure out. I don't really understand what changed. My guess is he doesn't like competition. I don't really know. It's really weird because like he used to be really big on like also like the misleading clickbait, and then like I think what started our beef is like I called him out on it, which is really funny considering he used to call everybody else out on it as well, and like that was actually how we bonded for a little bit. Like we would both like call out people on their misleading clickbait and trying to like lie to kids and stuff. Yeah, so like whenever he switched, it kind of just, I think in his words, he said, I got tired of trying to fight it, so I became it sort of situation. And I understand that. And I completely get where he's coming from, but he and I are a little bit of a different breed in that, like, unlike most YouTubers who are trying to like grow their audience and like make a name for themselves, they have to like do all these like extra steps. Like he is probably the biggest, and I'm like not far behind, I guess. But as far as like PetSim goes, like he is the PetSim creator, and when he does things that's kind of not great or whatever, other creators will see the same thing and they'll be like, oh well, if he's doing it, why can't I do it? Like it just, he has to lead by example, and he wasn't leading by example, and I was calling him out for it and he didn't like it. And so that's what started the beef. And then it kind of became worse when something happened. I think in like when Pets Go came out, I caught him like stealing like a couple of like titles verbatim from me. And then like people would call him out for doing it, and then he would respond in the comments that I was copying him for years, which is like the weirdest thing ever. Because I'm like, what do you mean? Like we talk all the time. You've never said that to me. Two, we're in the same space, so like there is overlap. And like when he would like, and so like I DM'd him, and he would just send me screenshots of how I had a same pet that he did in his thumbnail. I'm like, bro, that's the pet in the game. Everybody's trying to get. What do you mean I'm copying you? I don't know. And so like he wasn't really like listening. It was like talking to a brick wall, and I was just like, you know what, man? Do you? I don't have time or effort or energy, and I unfollowed him, and we haven't talked since. So. Yeah, it's just my guess is he just doesn't like the competition. And it kind of tracks a little bit because like back when Digito was the biggest person that he had to worry about with like views and stuff, like that's who he went after. Yeah. And he hasn't really had anybody else that has been close to him except for me. And I guess I'm not worried about it. I'm like grasping at straws here. I don't know what he's actually thinking. Every time I talk to him, he's always like in a really aloof, standoffish, kind of like semi joking. You can't really tell if he's serious or not. Yeah, so like it was just better just to go our separate ways. Like I don't hate him. I don't really have like a major beef where I want him to like fail or anything. Like I'm fine with what he can stay in his own lane and he can do what he wants. Like I don't like people saying that like I copy them or whatever without like context.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. So
yeah,
is what it is.
I've been wanting a NightFoxx LC video. I've been wanting that to happen.
Okay. So just a little bit of insider information. I recorded a video about the whole drama. I did. I've kept, and this is kind of what I do when I actually have an issue with somebody. I record videos, I keep receipts, and then I wait and see if anything else happens and if it comes to like a head or whatever. Like I don't want to strike first, but I do want to strike last.
Yeah.
And I want to be like the end all. So like whenever the Sizzle situation came out, like I did a big deep dive and like did a lot of like research and kind of got like a lot of like receipts on things and you know like the actual side of like events and stuff before he deleted all his tweets and before I deleted all of mine because I was just trying to like get over it or whatever. Like I have video evidence of everything happening live from both LCLC and Sizzles. I've got them on my computer. I have never released them. I don't plan on releasing them. You know, as long as things don't get worse, there's no reason to. Like I said, I don't want to do drama. I don't want to make things worse. I'm a big advocate on, you know, like forgive and forget and just kind of let go, you know, like water under the bridge. Let's go. Let's continue on with our lives. Like doing these massive drama things, they don't really help anybody. Like for the kids' sake, like it's like their parents arguing and the kids just have to sit there and watch it. Like that's kind of how I feel.
Exactly. Yeah, you like to be the bigger person. That's exactly how I am.
Yeah, I heard Power Max say he didn't like to be the bigger person. Which it's fun. It has been funny. Like I watch him and Sizzles go at it back and forth all the time on Twitter still, even to this day, and I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah, once that last time he came at me, I was like, man, I don't want to be involved. I don't want, just leave me out of it. This was the third time he's come at me, and I'm like, I'm just gonna block him everywhere because I don't want to see this drama anymore. I don't want to be involved. This isn't me. It's not my scene. So I just blocked him.
It's been interesting for sure. Like I said, we used to be, Sizzles and I used to be friends as well. But like friends is kind of a loose term just because like it's hard to have friends when you're in the position I'm in because like I always feel like somebody wants something more. This is like a weird lonely at the top situation, I guess. Yeah, like everybody, like even like when you were like, did you like when you were like reached out to people and Ted was the first? Dude, I don't remember you reaching out to me. I didn't mean to ghost you if I did. That's my bad. You just gotta like understand that like I have, God, in a given day, I probably have about 600 emails from fans. Somehow or another, my business email has just turned into my like fans contact me just to say, hey, or can I have a free pet, or can you be in, you know, so and so video or whatever, help me start my YouTube career. And then probably like I probably have like another couple hundred notifications on Twitter on the daily. Not to mention my mailbox, bro. My mailbox, I had to just like close. I think I only accepted gems because I got tired of people like, because it would just, I mean, I could probably go there now. I opened it just so I could try to get some Secret Santa stuff, so I could like just use that for points and then turn around and put it back into the Secret Santa again. Just try to save me a couple of gems or whatever. But Yeah, like most of the time I have to have mine off because if I have mine on, I will have people come ask me for like signs, like in through my mail, and they will fill up the whole mailbox within about 2 hours of it being open and
Wow.
cleared. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's rough. Either way, I'm sorry if I ever ghosted you. I wasn't trying to. You're a good dude.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
um,
At that time we had like 200 subscribers. Nobody knew who we were.
yeah,
And we're, you can't
just gotta
trust
gotta
everybody.
you gotta prove yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all there is to it. Like I have I guess I have a soft spot for like, dads trying to like make life work for them. I relate to that a lot. Relate to like having a hobby that you do with your kids that you want to do for your kids and with your kids and with other kids and so like I understand all that. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to like find out who your friends are and who your enemies are, and some people who you think are your friends turn out to not be. Kind of going back to the sizzle situation, like when all of that started, like I was protecting the dude, and then I just was like, I recognized that like I have like over 250,000 followers on Twitter, and a lot of them will like look at my replies
Mm-hmm.
and they will interact with me based on what I reply. Like I will be talking to like I remember like 2 months ago I talked to Verizon. Like I was having a problem with my Wi-Fi router and I was talking to Verizon like via like tweets or whatever. We were like kind of replying back and forth. And even just doing that, like I had about 100 people reply to my comment that I talked with Verizon asking for huge pets. So it's like I can't like I almost have to like create a new Twitter account just so I can do what everybody else does on Twitter.
Yeah.
And so like whenever I was like defending Sizzles on the whole like situation or whatever about people saying that like his daughter isn't real or whatever, I was like, guys, don't ask. Don't ask to see photos of his kid. That's weird. That's all I said. Like it's not for you to decide if he has a kid or not, and you're demanding to see proof by seeing a photo. Like, don't do that. That's weird. Don't do that. Like just let him be a dad or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't like reply. Maybe I should just stay out of it because if I'm replying to this narrative, now people are going to see this narrative. So I should probably just like I deleted the message so that nobody else would see that and then also start thinking that narrative. Like I was trying to like squash it. That's what I was trying to do. But he took it badly. He thought that me doing that was me taking back what I said.
Yeah,
and
that whole thing was
it was
a train wreck.
It was really weird. I still don't really understand why it happened.
Yeah, I loved your response to it all. Your response was awesome. It was amazing, and you just got out of it as fast as you got it.
Yeah, like it didn't make sense. I knew that this was not going to be a good thing for either one of us. And like I said, I have obviously my family to think about. I have like not even that. I've got like I said, I got 10 employees that I also have to pay. Like it's not just my family's livelihood. It's like everybody that's on my team's livelihood as well. Like I have to be the bigger person because I can't afford to go down that drama road that's just going to come out with everybody hating me because of whatever reason. Like people are going to just naturally choose sides. And a lot of times it happens without people really getting the proper knowledge on things. And plus like Sizzles does that thing where he gives away a lot of pets. And I have kind of like it took taking a step back from the situation to really see like what he's doing kind of on a daily basis. That's like, okay, yeah, that's kind of weird, and that's kind of where I leave it at now. He's interacted with me a few times trying to get back in my good graces, but like I said, I forget. I guess I forgive him for what he did, but I definitely am not forgetting what he did, and I can't have somebody that's like that loose of a cannon interacting with me. I just can't. So like I ignore it every time.
Yeah, I noticed something I used to talk to him on a daily basis way back then, and I'd say maybe 6 months ago I stopped talking to him. I'll talk to him if he messages me, or if I, have someone that needs to trade him or something, I'd message him again. But like 6 months ago, or whenever that whole LCLC drama he had happened, I posted something irrelevant to the drama. And I was talking about how LCLC is one of my favorite YouTubers, and then he just comes into my DMs and starts attacking me, and I'm just like, what do you want from me? You want me to not like the guy because he said your daughter's a chick?
I don't know. That's the other thing. Like he hates when people are friends with people he's not friends with.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. And this was also another thing I learned very early on in YouTube. Like you can't control who your friends like. You just can't. Back in like 2015, I had beef with like a little small Minecraft creator. To the point that like it was probably my worst beef on YouTube ever, even to this point. I don't want to really go into it, but I don't know if you saw the DM that Sizzles ended up leaking about the threats that I got from people. It was from this guy. It was from this guy that I'm talking about now. We were friends. We were in the Minecraft space together, and then I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. It's been years now at this point. But like he would create other accounts and come into like my live streams and start just saying bad slurs and, threats against my wife and my kids and stuff like that. And I would tell like all of my Minecraft friends about it, and then they would go off and still record with the guy that was doing this. And it used to make me so mad. And I was like, God, man, my friends like must hate me. It was really lonely. But then I just realized that like my relationship with somebody isn't the same as if somebody else's relationship with them. And you shouldn't be so worried about like what everybody else like, it is what it is. Like people can recognize it, but you can't force people to not be friends with somebody. Like you just can't. They have to come to that on their own conclusion.
Yeah, and you can't force somebody to come to your defense at every little conflict you have.
Exactly. Yeah. So like that, I feel like that's something that he needs to learn. Yeah, him blocking you just because like you are attacking you because you defend somebody that he doesn't like, that just doesn't make. And that's what the whole like second argument that he and I had, where like I followed somebody that he had beef with, and now all of a sudden now I'm a bad person because like it's just that's not how that works, for one. And two, you can't get mad at me if there's this guy with an alt account that's doing all this stuff and I'm not following the alt account. I'm following the main account knowing nothing about the alt account. Like that's it was whatever, dude. We're done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Yeah. Either way, we've moved on. He has stuff to learn. It is what it is. We're all just trying to exist in our own little pet sim world.
Yeah, and I will say one more thing about it. Ever since blocking him, my Twitter feed has been drama free.
Since I
blocked him, I don't even see when people tag him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't see any of the drama. And so going on Twitter is a lot more peaceful now.
I'm afraid if I block him, he'll get mad at me again.
All right, so we'll move on from this conversation. You did talk about MrBeast. How was that experience? That whole video you did.
Crazy. Yeah. I felt like I was on a movie set. It was wild. There were like MrBeast has a lot of employees, and like he only like obviously like he comes out to do the shots and then he leaves. Like he doesn't like he kind of stuck around like towards the end, but whenever we first like had like I was in the Squid Game video, so there was like 456 contestants, which is the biggest he had ever done at that point. But like nobody saw him, ever. We would wait around for like hours while they set up all the stuff. Just kind of like, getting the rundown of what we were to do. Like you kind of felt like extras in a movie almost. Like it was like you had like all these like directors and, like all these like people with clipboards, like writing your name down and figuring out where you're going to go. And, oh, are you somebody who's going to be wearing a microphone or you're not, and so like or you're gonna have a GoPro on your head. You know, like it just like all these different like lists and stuff, and you like fell into like different categories, and you were like herded around different places. It felt like I said, it felt like a movie set because like we were, you know, like every set was different, and we would do the little round or whatever, you know, and then like a couple hours would go by. They would review all the footage, make sure everything was good, and then we would move on. And the further we got along, you know, like there would be like, okay, so for one, where we did, I don't know if you saw the video, but where they did the tug of war.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see it.
Okay, well they did a tug of war portion. It was like round 3, I think. We did that on the second day. We did round 3 on the second day. We did round 2 and 3 on the second day. And when we finished round 3, we went home to our hotel. We slept for like 3 hours, and then we came back for round 4, which was back at his warehouse. And then round 5 was back at where the tug of war was.
Mm-hmm.
That we also did the same day. So it was like day 3. So day 2 was tug of war. Day 3 was supposed to be the glass bridge where I got out at. They, in between the time that we slept and then did round 4, they completely tore down the tug of war set and completely built up the glass bridge set in like a matter of like 15 hours.
Wow.
So like he had like, you know, like construction crews working. He had like, you know, like all these HR people and these directors and people telling us where to go. He had catering. Like it was wild, man. It was, like I said, you feel like you're in Hollywood, but you're in Greenville, North Carolina. It's weird. Yeah. So like it is what it is. So as there's more people like gone and it's fewer and fewer, he'll start like coming out more, you know, like and talking with people. But I did find out you can be the biggest creator in the world and still stumble over every 5 seconds your words. So that was nice to see. It was nice to see that, like, you know, no matter how big you get, you still mess up a lot and you have to like do retakes. So, like I think he said the intro sentence like 6 times. Yeah. So
there was a lot of controversy over his Amazon one that he's working. I believe that's the one that. Are you in it now?
So when is this video coming out?
This one now is coming out Christmas Day.
Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. The video that I just put out last week, where the Beast games came out. So like he worked on the Beast games, obviously with Amazon. And then he did like a Roblox promotion where he got 50 YouTubers, 50 Roblox YouTubers, and we had like a Roblox version of that. And that's what I was a part of, where I did that. That was cool. It was a lot more laid back, a lot more felt obviously in your element versus being in real life. You're in a Roblox game. I live on Roblox, so like it felt a lot more easier and at home. I will say that I was chosen to be one of the contestants for the Amazon show. I did not accept it, actually, because they wanted me to be gone for 3 months.
Yeah, I heard it was a very bad experience.
Yeah, and I kind of understand that, because when we did the Squid Game video, it was also not the best experience. It's just a lot of people. It's a lot of people trying to get herded around different places and trying to take care of like everybody's needs. And there's like 500. I think the Beast games had like double that at 1,000. So like, yeah, like if you don't know what you're doing and you're kind of just like flying by whatever, you're gonna have issues. And I think they bit way more off than they could chew. And there were obviously a lot of issues because of it. But yeah, I was chosen to be in it. I went through like an interview process. They wanted me to come on the show. And I was like, nah, I can't. Like, I just can't be gone for 3 months. Just the family side of, I mean, even if, you know, like, the reason was my family, obviously, but the other reason is like being gone 3 months away from a YouTube channel especially in the gaming space. I mean, God, look at Russo, look at Terabyte when they left for like 3 or 4 months to work on RB Battles. Like they're still struggling. Like it's just, I don't know. YouTube favors the people who post consistently, and when you stop doing that, unless you just have like the most loyal fan base ever, which is not something that really exists in the gaming space. Yeah, it's almost like a death sentence to your channel, and so like it wasn't worth it to me to do that.
Yeah, I've noticed it with Blox Family, because with Blox Family, we do that as a hobby. We do it as, for fun, home videos. And I'll go like a month without posting a video.
Yeah.
And then, but when I was posting consistently, I was getting, 1,000 videos or 1,000 views, 3,000 views, 5,000 views, and I was doing good. And then I'll take that break. I took a Christmas break, and then the views go down to like 100, 200, 300. So now imagine somebody with millions of subscribers, they go and do this MrBeast challenge, come back without posting any videos, unless they have a schedule set up of a video coming out every week. They come back to like no views.
Yeah, exactly.
So it definitely makes sense on why you chose not to do that. And also, staying away from your family for that long is hard.
I know 3 months is insane. And it was like during the summer too. So like other kids were out for summer break, and we do a lot of our like you got kids, like you can't, during school, it's a lot harder to go do things. But during the summer breaks, when both my kids were out, like we had planned a trip to Japan, like we had planned like all these other trips and stuff. So like I would have to miss that now, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and I used to be a truck driver, so
I would go
out for a month.
Jeez.
I'd go out for a month, and I was like, you know what? I lost my phone. I left my phone in the bathroom of a truck stop, and I couldn't talk to my family all day. And it just hurt. It was really bad. And I'm just like, I'm done with this. I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
So I ended up just getting a local driving job.
Makes sense. That's good. That's good that you get to be back around with your family then again.
Yeah, and especially now, I own my own business. I only go to work 1 day a week.
Oh, geez. That's the life, bro. What are you doing?
I go to work 1 day a week. I make enough money to pay for everything we need and have, left over for making Roblox videos.
That's great, man. I wish I could get away with that. I'm glued to this YouTube stuff, man. I work probably like, I always try to take Sundays off, but during the past 2 months, that's not something I've been allowed to do, just because like if you know YouTube, like that like ad rates are really good around the holiday season. And so like if you're ever gonna like go hard in on YouTube and make as much like ad revenue as possible, the time to do it is November, December. That's why you see a lot of YouTubers like post every day in December and then not post like at all in January. It's because January is like the worst month of the year for like ad rates. Plus we've all been making videos nonstop for 2 months straight at that point. We want a break, so that's kind of my plan too. Like I already know like January is gonna be bad. I'm gonna take that time and recharge so that I don't get burned out. But
yeah, I did notice that the ad rates right now are like $20 for 1,000 views, and then a few months ago it was like $8 for 1,000 views.
And it'll go down again. Like I think in January they go down to like 6. So it's a bad month for YouTubers. But it's great, but it sucks because like, obviously with like the Christmas holidays and if you're in the US, like Thanksgiving, like like that's the time for like family and going out and doing activities. But if you're a YouTuber, that's the time to lock yourself away from everybody and make videos.
Yeah, I completely understand the holiday season. I get a little busier with work as well, because I fix wheels for car dealerships, and a lot of people are buying cars around this time. So the managers of the car dealership, was that?
I said I was a car salesman before I was in IT.
Oh, how'd you?
That was not a good time. That was not a good time in my life. There's a reason I'm not that anymore. The problem with that was, the stereotype around car salesmen and stuff, like it's Yeah, it's justified, and it's just kind of unfortunate that like they get their money based on how much they can fool you.
Mm-hmm.
Like the more money they retain from like giving you on a deal, that's more money in their pocket, and it's a very bad way to work. uh Car salesmen most of the time work on just commissions, so like if they don't sell cars, they don't get paid. And if
Mm-hmm.
they don't sell cars at a high amount, they don't get paid. Like I worked for a year, yeah, a year, and like there was like 1 or 2 months where I sold like one car and I made like $600 despite working 60 hours work week. Like you're not even making minimum wage. You're making like $1 an hour at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, you get desperate and you get money hungry. Like it's just I don't know. I don't like tricking people. Obviously, thumbnails. Hi. But like it's just not what I do. Like I hated it. So like I remember one time my manager wanted me to sell a car to a grandma who had just like had her car break down. She needed something. She liked this like Honda CRV, and it was like 15,000 or whatever dollars for it. We
Mm-hmm.
had it marked up to like we bought it for like 14. The lowest we could go was 15, and we had it marked up to like 20.
Wow.
And she was like, I only have like like 16,000 is kind of what I'm comfortable with. And I was like, all right, I got you. Like I knew that it was worth like 15 and we would have accepted 15 for it. And I went to my manager and he was like, no, this is a perfect opportunity for you to get as much money as you can. She's an old lady. She doesn't really know cars. Like she will accept whatever deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so like my manager asked me to go, like give her 19 instead of 20 or whatever. And so like I did, just because I was like, that's what I was told to do. And she like accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were kind of going through the deal, and I just looked at her and I was like, hey, I can get you a better deal on this car. Why don't you just let me go handle this? And she's like, oh, really? Okay. And so then she was ready to sign at 19.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, I went back to my manager. I was like, listen, she's a tough old bird. She's not going to be able to, handle it. She said the highest she would go was 16. And like, that's what she told me originally. And he was like, fine, whatever. And so he did. And then we did the deal at 16, and I quit after the day after.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I couldn't handle like, I mean, it's like an old lady. Like I saw like as my old grandma or something. Like I'm not going to take advantage of an old lady. Like she clearly needed a vehicle. Like she came into the dealership not even like knowing what vehicle she wanted. She just wanted to look at our lot and buy something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was very grateful for that too.
I don't think she really. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I didn't talk to her after that, but like I don't even think like I finished the deal. Like because obviously like you do the deal and then we all like clean it up, do all the tags and the licensing, and they usually pick it up the next day. Like, but I had quit, so like I wasn't there to like give her. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened from that, but
car salesmen and lawyers, they pretty much fall into the same category of how much people hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And when I see these car salesmen, like when they don't have a customer, completely different person, and then when they have a customer, they're like this angel. And I'm like,
oh yeah, I saw it happen like live every day. Like I would see just them switch their personality. Like they would talk with somebody and be like, they would act like they were all friends and stuff, and then as soon as they would leave, man, I hated those people. Those people suck. They're like, and they would say like, obviously they're really, car salesmen are really vulgar. That's the other thing I found out. Like they cuss like nobody.
Yeah, and that's why I rarely ever talk to them.
Yeah. So you only see the back end only work because you're working the back end with like fixing the wheels that come in. But man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I avoid them. If they have a car, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm selling this car. Can you fix the wheels?" I'll be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And I don't even want to talk to them. I'll just bring the keys to the manager once I'm done. Manager's cool. He's a cool dude. The salespeople.
That's a pretty good gig, though. I like that.
Yeah, it's.
You set your own hours?
Yeah, my own hours. I go to work whenever I want. If I don't want to work tomorrow, I'll go to work on Thursday.
That's nice.
Yeah, like last week we had a big rainstorm over here on Wednesday, and I was supposed to work. I just called the manager. I'm like, "I'm coming in on Thursday." But
yeah, you win. You win at life. Good job. Congratulations.
I'm blessed. I am blessed. I don't complain. I I'm happy with what I've gotten in my life.
Yeah.
It gives me time to do the things I enjoy, and yeah, I'm here
I
talking
mean,
to you.
just being like, like being there for your kids and stuff, like that's huge. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's something that, a lot of kids don't even get. Like they have, their parents are like, I'm here, like I'm in my house, obviously, and I work from home, but like a lot of times I'm in my office and the door's closed. Like I don't see them as much as I'd like to see them.
Mm-hmm.
But like some people, I mean, imagine when you're a truck driver, like that's some people's lives. Like, I have an uncle who was a truck driver, and he's gone months at a time. Like
Mm-hmm.
he would come home for like a weekend and then be gone for an entire month. Like it's just that's a rough way to live. Yeah.
And it's also not even. It's good money if you own your own truck, but if you're
Uh huh.
driving per mile, it's not even that
Hmm.
great money. It's not worth it to.
No.
You're pretty much selling the time that you have with your family to go
Yeah. Yeah. It's rough.
drive,
Hmm.
and it's rough. And you know, you're on the job 24/7, but you only get paid for the time you're driving.
Yes.
And that's the big thing about it. I'll be there 24 hours a day, but I'm getting paid for 10.
Dang. Yeah. That's that's.
Yeah, it's you got to be a different breed of person to be able to do it all the time and be okay with the sacrifices.
Had or just be alone,
No. And a
if
lot of
if
them
you're
are.
just yourself, that's just what you do, I guess.
All right. One thing I did want to ask.
Okay.
We talked about it in the last podcast about YouTubers and their games. Do you have any plans on releasing your own game?
So, as I said, I'm friends with like Terabyte and them.
Mm-hmm.
They're really big in like game dev and game design, obviously, with their like they come out with a game pretty much every year. I think the last one they're been working on for 2 years. Whilst trying to do RB battles, whilst trying to do their own channel. They really turned me off on game development.
Really?
Like really turned me off. They've they've mentioned we've talked about like because they're the people I know that I'm closest with that actually like have jumped into the game dev side of things where because like they themselves they don't have like the coding experience, so they have to hire full out. Like that's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm great at video editing. Like obviously I went to school for like IT and stuff. And like I learned a lot of things, but like back when I was in school, like coding was not something you really learned in school unless you like got to college, and even then it was like C plus or I'm sorry, C++ and like maybe a little bit of Java here and there, maybe a little bit of Python. It was just like very basic, very boring. I definitely didn't learn the Lua language that you need to make for like Roblox games. Either
Mm-hmm.
way, I'm completely turned off on the whole dev side of things, so I'd have to hire out everybody. And they hired out everybody as well, and they would go to like make these really big ambitious games, which hi, I'm a perfectionist. I would probably doing the same thing. I would look at like something like crazy, awesome, and go really in depth with like a game design and stuff. I have a couple of ideas. But every time they would hire somebody, they would get like halfway done with the game. Then these big companies that are now coming into Roblox, these big dev studios, they would buy out their devs. And so then they would lose those devs and they would have to
Mm-hmm.
hire more. And every time you hire a new dev to come work on an old dev's project, everybody like codes differently. So like there's like a learning process, like learning how everybody else did it. And a lot of these like devs for hire, like they don't like working on other people's stuff. So you essentially like when you lose a dev, you lose your game, you lose your progress. You have to
Yep.
start completely over with a new dev. And like on top of that, like you're still paying them monthly, obviously, like while they're there. But then if they leave, not only have you lost the dev, now you've lost all your work, now you've lost all the money you put into it. That's just so much of a headache for me. And I don't I know if that happens to me one time, I would just cut my losses and not continue on. So, not to mention you have to reach out to a lot of different people. Like you have to vet people's experience,
Yep.
and I'm just so like new to that side of things that I yeah, it seems like too much of a headache with all I've got going on.
Yeah. With we're working on our game right now. It's
Yeah.
15 months into it, and
15?
15 months, yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm a perfectionist, so everything needs to be perfect.
Understood.
We had like a lot of the game built at one point, and then someone posted something on Twitter, and I'm like, "Ooh, that is beautiful." So I went and I talked to my builder slash modeler, and I'm like, "Listen, I like this style of game, so I want to just start fresh." So that's why we're so far into so long into development. And I do understand having to replace developers all the time. I'm constantly looking for new animators,
Mhm.
new riggers, new everything. My scripter, perfect. He does a beautiful job, works every day, and he's a 16-year-old kid. So I got the parents' permission and everything to have him on board, and he does an amazing job. Anything I ask him, I'm like, "Can you do this?" He'll be like, "Yeah, I could do it." But then I'll ask any other script, and they're like, "No, I can't do that." So 16-year-old kid, and he's so good at this. And I
That's
actually,
crazy.
so this is dropping on Christmas. Christmas, we're dropping our teaser. So I do want to show you some stuff right now.
Okay. Yes.
So there's two pictures I'm sending right now. I don't
Okay.
know if the teaser comes out before or after the podcast. So
Yeah, I'll pretend it came out. Oh my gosh, that was the best teaser ever. This is such a good game. I can't wait to play it. There you go.
all right, I'm sending it to you right now. I want you to take a
Yeah,
look at
look
it.
at it. Oh, I love this.
That right there made it specifically for my wife,
Oh my gosh.
specifically for her. Complete the whole
Dude.
design and everything.
Okay, legit, all I have gotten is a picture. I am excited for this game. This is adorable. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
I want it.
the artist for the logo, Cupsy. I'm pretty sure you know Cupsy on Twitter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He is an amazing artist. We have him making the entire UI for the game.
That is
Yes,
so adorable.
I'm glad you like it. And I also have something. It's not done. It was done, but he accidentally deleted the texture. But we did
Okay.
make something for you. I talked to you about it before, and
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah,
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 we're gonna have partner events in our game, and you're gonna be one of the first partner events, and this is for you.
yeah. Love it. Okay.
So it's going to be
This is
reworked.
great.
That's not the final product. He had to quickly throw it together yesterday because he
That's
was
fine.
like, "Oh, I accidentally deleted the texture."
That's fine. That's fine. This is
So
amazing.
he was actually really happy that you delayed the recording one day because of this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're welcome. I did. That's the reason I did it. That was totally the only reason.
So this is something we made specifically just for you. There's a lot more coming out just for you. And
Dude, I'm excited. This looks like a ballin' game. I love this.
yeah, I spent about 6 months planning the entire game. A lot has changed since the very first idea, but about 6 months planning, and then about uh 9, 10 months of actually building, slow building, nothing rushed, because I don't want anything rushed. Anytime someone asks me, is there a deadline? I'm like, no deadline. I want it to be perfect. Everything's got to be
Mm,
perfect. You know,
okay.
I'm making a game that I want to play. I'm not making a
Yeah.
game to push out, make money, and then walk away from it.
I mean, if you did while you're doing that, that's okay.
You know, money is always a good bonus. It's always a good reward, but this is a game that I really want to play. I'm mainly making it for me and the kids. And I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's
sure
a passion
everybody,
project.
yeah, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure everybody that plays it is going to love it because there's so many new mechanics. The game isn't like anything you've played on Roblox.
Well, I'm hooked. I will definitely play it, and I'll probably do it for a video too.
That's awesome.
Especially if it's got me in it. Look at that. I'm not I'm not conceited at all. I promise.
Now, if there's anything to that design you want changed, if you want to give some ideas for it, we'll definitely
I'm
implement
not
it.
gonna step on your toes. I'm sure you got. I mean, the leaks I've seen so far, like these are amazing. Like you know what you're doing. I don't just come in and mess it up. No, you're good.
So yeah, it's definitely a different game. It's definitely a game you would see released on Steam, not so much on
Okay,
Roblox. So
it is gonna be on Roblox though, right?
yes, 100%.
Okay, cool. Then
Yeah,
I'll
it's
play it.
all Roblox and like just the whole mechanics, everything. Like there's stuff in there that like you don't even see on Roblox.
Yeah.
And we're even implementing Google Authenticator to protect players' accounts. I'm already
Oh, nice.
planning on how to protect everybody's accounts. I get it. A lot of kids won't be able to do it, but a lot of, pay to win players that want to protect their stuff, Google
Yeah.
Authenticator would be a perfect way to protect their investments into the game.
Yeah. 100%.
And so yeah, it's a big project. A lot of people say never do your first game as a big, highly detailed, highly polished game, but
That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm doing this for fun. I'm enjoying it. It's costing a lot of money, but it's okay. I'm gonna have a lot of fun on it. Even if I break even and then the game dies, at least the game is still there for me to play, and I broke even. I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah. At that point, that's just you getting to play something. Like that's not like that's not killing you monetarily or anything like that. So.
Yeah. So there was one final question I wanted to ask you. We're hitting that 2 hour mark right now.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So I do have one question with a follow-up question.
Is it will I hatch a Titanic? Is that the question?
Oh, will you?
I don't know. I don't know. I saw everybody else hatching Titanics, so now I want to try. I've got a little bit of eggs, so you can ask the question while I do this.
Okay. You did tease out a family channel. When is that gonna come out, and what are your plans for it? I'm excited for that.
That one is coming out probably within the new year. We had planned to do it during December, but obviously there's some things that kind of got in the way with that. Mainly I lost 3 different people on my team and have yet to really find somebody to replace them. I hire people not because I have to, because I want to retain some of that time back. Like I can do everything myself if I absolutely had to. Like I can do my own thumbnails, I can do my own editing. I did that for probably like 6 years on my own anyway. But I didn't get a Titanic. I broke the streak. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, like I've had to do a whole bunch of stuff this month that I wasn't planning on it, just to try to get videos out, because I'm trying to attempt to not have a decrease in what you guys see like on the front end with like videos, like still the same amount of videos, but there is definitely more work on my end going in the back side of things. Pretty much once a week I have stayed up all night so far since pretty much November started. And like I need to get that time back before I can start focusing on the new channel again. And it doesn't really make sense to start it right now, just because middle of the month. I don't know. I guess there's not really a bad time to start a channel, but like I'm weird, and like I started my original YouTube channel on January 1st, 2015. So like I just have a weird thing about starting it like at a first of something, just like the start of a new year, a start of something new. Let's do a new thing, So I don't know. I guess we could shoot for like the first part of January, but like I said, I definitely need to finish getting my employees back in order.
Yeah. Would it be gaming videos, vlog videos?
Yeah, probably gaming, just because my daughter's in that weird phase where like she's self-conscious about everything. She's a teenager, so like it is what it is. So like I don't want to make her feel bad about things. Or things that she's gonna like regret later. Like obviously, like as big as I am, like I have people in her school that know about me and my channel and her and all that stuff, and I just don't want anything to be used against her as well. So like we'll probably keep it to gaming for now. The beauty of that is like my kids hate Pet Sim. They don't play it. Probably for the best, to be honest. But this allows me to play like other games. Like when I first started Roblox, like I loved Roblox for what it was and how different like every game was, and like every video was always a new game and something different. And that's just something I don't really get to do anymore.
Mm.
So it'll probably just be like us four playing, like it would always be us four, like a variation of like multiple. It will never be just me. It will never be just my daughter, just my son, just my wife, whatever. It will never be like just one person. We'll collab in some way. I don't know if we'll try to do all four of us all the time, but we have different schedules. Like my son's in college. My daughter's in school, and then she has like ice skating. Sometimes she goes to competitions. So like just depending on the people's schedules, who's in a video. But it will be a variation of us four. And we'll just be playing random games. Yeah, on Roblox.
No, that's awesome. I'm very excited for it. You know, we were doing
fun.
that whole thing. Yeah. We were doing that whole thing. You know, it's just the whole thing with our channel is out of nowhere we gained but our entire following became Pet Simulator, and it's very hard to include the kids into it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very hard to come up with video ideas.
I used to collab pretty much every video I did. I didn't start doing solo videos until Pet Sim, and like I still try to do, like I get Woozlo in a lot of them, but like that can only be done so much, and then it starts getting repetitive. So like I've had to retain a lot of like solo stuff, and it does get difficult. So like I completely understand.
Yeah, and with the game that we're actually developing right now, I think it's going to be perfect for me and the kids to make content on.
Good.
Yeah. And
could be like, dude, you could be like Telanthric, where you like make a new game, do videos on it, the game blows up, then you're like the creator on it as well as the developer on it. It's like an infinite money glitch, bro. You could be rolling in it in like 2 years.
That'd be
I could be begging to talk to you in 2 years. You never know, man. That's the fun. That's like the best part about YouTube. Like you like I had no idea 5 years ago that I would be where I am now. And like I haven't done anything crazy outside of what I normally would do to get here. Like it's not like I had to go like sell my soul to somebody, or you know like start getting to know like a certain someone in the space who's like really big that can help build me up. Like I did it on my own. You know, I just improved on the videos I made, and like it was all done naturally, and yeah, it worked out. Like that's kind of the cool thing about YouTube. You just do it until it works out for you.
Yeah, especially when you find that idea, that original idea that you enjoy doing, it works out. Like right now with this podcast, I really enjoy it.
I know. I'm excited for you. I think this podcast, I think your new game, if it does well, like I said, man, I see big things for you. I think this is going to be really good. The next few years for you, I think, is going to actually do really well for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And so I love how every time I ask you a question, you're like leaning towards my next question.
Okay.
So pretty much this is the first time I've written down questions because I didn't want to miss anything. And
so the whole thing has been scripted, even my responses. That's what you're telling everybody right now. Am I even really here? Is this an AI?
Yes, it's an AI voice. I couldn't get NightFoxx.
That's hilarious. That would be a fun video, actually. Just see how much you can. Just like see how long you can do this without people realizing it's AI.
Honestly, I actually did have a video idea where I would make an entire pet sim video where I imitate all the top creators.
Oh no.
So I already had yours planned out.
Oh no.
The intro was going to be just like D Field.
Okay.
Where he's yelling at the microphone.
Yeah.
But I ended up not doing it because I didn't want anybody to, like, any creators be like, oh, so you're making fun of me?
No. I know, like, I've known a lot of people that have done that, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody have a negative response to it. Yeah, I'd say go for it. It would be funny. It would be funny.
So my follow-up question to that one was, the last one was, any tips for people that are trying to get into content creation, that want to be the next big YouTuber? You got any tips for them?
Don't. I'm just joking. It's I would say it's a lot harder than what you realize. It's I won't say like there's a lot of kids or there's a lot of like streamers out there being like, oh yeah, streaming is harder than a 9 to 5 job. I'm not saying that. It's not. That's not true. Whoever said that has never had a real job.
Mhm.
I worked literally 10 years of my life. I was doing the corporate thing forever and decided that was not enough. It was too hard and I wanted to do something, and I've done YouTube, and it will be a sad, sad day whenever I have to go back into the real world corporate, job, normal, how everybody does it. Like
Mhm.
that's not what I'm saying. Like YouTube is harder than what you realize, but it's still a dream job to have.
Mhm.
Um, I will say that no matter how well you think you're doing, you're not. You're always going to need to improve. I mean,
Mhm.
if you want, this is the exact reason that I leave every video that I ever do up, even like the Minecraft days. If you want, go to my videos, sort it by oldest, and watch like the first 5. You will wonder how I ever became a YouTuber. Like, I wanted to delete them so bad, just because for one, they're Minecraft, but like two, they're so bad. But I leave them up to show like kids like you can start off awful and
Mhm.
get better. Like the YouTube is not like a you either have it or you don't. It's very much so a learned trait. You just have to put in the work to do it. And it's not easy. Like there's a reason that my kids don't want to be YouTubers, and I am that reason, because they see what I have had to do behind the scenes. Like you have to edit, you have to record, you have to research, you've got to learn to make thumbnails, you've got to like learn to have a broadcast voice. You can't just have like your normal voice. Like listen to my first video. That is how I normally talk. Or at least it was back then. I guess now I've done YouTube long enough. I just talk loudly now. But yeah, like it's just you're gonna be bad. You're gonna suck for a while, even if you think you're good and you're not really understanding why you're not getting, the luck,
Mhm.
not getting exposure. Do the videos for 5 years. Go back and look at your first videos and why you weren't getting exposure, and then
Mhm.
you'll understand that it's just like you just got to keep at it. You got to keep your head down. Got to keep doing things over and over again. Repetition is key. Learning how to do like the very basic essential skills like editing and thumbnail making. Learning, I don't know if you use Photoshop. There's a lot of other different versions out there you can find.
Yeah, I use
Um,
GIMP.
yeah. Some people use Paint. Like it is what it is. Um, you just gotta do it. Like you just learn. You don't like work on yourself. Work on making better videos. Like improve something. Like watch your videos back. See what you didn't necessarily like. Listen to feedback. I think, God, man, I went. I think I only got like 1,000 subscribers my first year on YouTube, and then by year 2, I got to 5,000. Like I didn't grow at all for like the longest time. And I still posted like as much as I'm posting now, even back then. So yeah, you get better, you get faster, you start learning things. Obviously listening to like podcasts, especially ones that like tell you how to like edit or tell you how to, like do like just learning tips and tricks within the creator space. Listening to this is great, obviously like
Mhm.
listening to like how people do things and the stuff that the struggles that they go through. Like yeah, don't expect, you have to enjoy this. I mean, like I said, I went 2 years without really seeing really much growth, and I definitely didn't see much money. Um, I did it for a hobby because I enjoy making videos. Like if you don't enjoy, this is what they say: if you don't enjoy making videos, you're not going to make money on it. Like you have to join YouTube for the right reasons. You can join it knowing how, like wanting to make money, but you have to recognize that you're probably not going to make money for a very long time,
Yeah.
and you have to put in the work to do it.
And
So
a lot of kids, they get into YouTube 16, 15, and they're making the money, and then they
mhm.
drop out of school. They don't go to college. They don't do any of
Yeah,
that.
no, yeah, the only reason I ever went full time is because I had had 2 years of solid like income
Mhm.
where it was pretty steady. Like I've gotten to a point now that like I have like a minimum requirement, and I basically hit that every month. So like it's as long as I'm doing that, like I think of this as a job. but it takes a while to get to that point for sure. Yeah, you don't want to like I worked a full-time job and did YouTube in my spare time for 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now this is your full-time job, and practice makes perfect. I looked up your your videos, your older videos, the thumbnails, pretty basic, but now your thumbnails, every thumbnail you put out is amazing, and
what's funny? I still do half of them.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I still do half of them.
Now this last
especially now. One of my thumbnail guys left. Yeah. The last one that went out just yesterday, that one was not me. But all the pretty much every update one is me. That one, all the update thumbnails are me for sure. Yeah. It's like I said, you just gotta enjoy what you're doing. You gotta recognize that you're not gonna be doing well. I will say this: the people who grow fast usually fizzle out fast as well. So if you're like a shorts person and all you do is you do YouTube shorts and then you try to break into long form, I have seen and found myself that doesn't necessarily correlate. You definitely need to work on both, especially if you're wanting to make this a career. Don't worry so much about the subscribers. Yes, they're nice. Obviously, having a community is great. Subscribers don't pay the bills. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, with our following, if we get too big too fast, there's going to be too many people who I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that's that person from way back then. And then there's just too many people because the way I see it is a lot of people that watch our videos, they come back and they always comment and they always interact and I always remember them. Now, if I'm getting 1,000 comments per video, I'm going to lose them in there and then sadly have to admit then they'll be sadly forgotten. And so that's why it's good to grow slow. That way you build a connection with your community.
Yep. That coupled with consistency and just remembering that, you're just you're just like a little speck in their day, and you're easily forgotten about just because of the sheer amount of people on YouTube. And so your job is to just make the best videos you can to make the people that watch your videos feel like they have spent their time wisely watching yours.
Yeah, and when they keep coming back, it's always something special because they could go watch somebody else, but they're choosing to come watch you.
Yes. And that's ultimately the reason, not to like go back to Numerous or anything. That's ultimately the reason that I dog on him as much as I do. Like I see he's a good person. I see he's trying. When you mislead, when you clickbait in that way, you get a reputation where people won't necessarily trust you right off the bat. And you need that trust. You need that sense of like people wanting to come watch your videos and, like, sure, people can watch him just for his personality, but I mean, let's be real. We're in the gaming space and people want to see like tips and tricks and how they can get better as well. So,
yeah. And also these podcasts, you could see how the person really is, who the person really is. And that last podcast with Numerous, before recording, I wasn't too big of a fan of him. After recording the podcast, I've gained so much respect for him.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude. He's a good dude for real. Yeah, he's, like I said, I think it's just the generation. People just have gotten so used to how YouTube clickbait works and how people present their videos and themselves that they miss a lot of community aspect because of that. And people like if people trust you, they'll come watch anything and everything.
And this is a good way to pretty much put the real you out there.
Exactly. Yep. So do podcasts, specifically this one.
Yeah, hopefully I can
grow every day. Yeah, just work on growing yourself every day. That's all you gotta do. That's the too long didn't read version of this is just make good videos. There you
go. Yeah, these podcasts have been doing a lot better than the other videos with retention. I think that's what it is. Continually watching the full video. They've been doing a lot better than my other videos.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's like I said, it's new, it's different, it's something that nobody else is doing. that is the other way how you grow. That is it. Yeah, you want to grow on YouTube, find something that hasn't been done and do it.
Yeah, and it's fun. I enjoy it a lot. It's something that is easy to do because I do like talking to people and I like finding out more about people. And I plan to keep doing it.
This has been fun. I've enjoyed this.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man. It was fun. I learned a lot. Everybody listening learned a lot, and hopefully, let's see, like maybe a year down the road, we'll probably have new stories from you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Every month changes for me.
Unless there's another drama coming out, then I'll
hit you up.
No hit you up
drama, like, bro. No more, please, please.
Yeah, the drama needs to die down. We need to come back as a community. Everybody love each other.
For real.
All right, dude. I really appreciate you taking the time for this. And since this is dropping on Christmas, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yep, pleasure being here. Sorry I took you away from your family. For the 4 people that made it to the end, congratulations.
You know what? If you made it to the end, I will give away a signed not neon agony. Let me not say that. Huge agony. I'll do that. You made it to the end. I'll give away.
I'll throw in one. I'll tell you what. I will throw in. If you made it to the end, I'll use this for your giveaway. If you made it to the end, I'll give you a signed Titanic Autumn teddy bear.
Ooh. Signed Titanic teddy bear. Nice. So I'm not going to promote that. We'll just give it to the people that made it to the end. So if you made it to the end, just type in the comments, I made it to the end.
Perfect. Love it.
All right. Thank you very much, NightFoxx. Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.